Now at 5, the debate over sanctuary cities continues this morning in Florida. The hearing set for today on a bill which will require local governments to honor requests by ICE.
The Liberty County community continues to recover this morning after a tragic accident. We'll hear from the superintendent of Liberty County Schools after the loss of 2 beloved community members.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27 Sunrise.
We begin this morning with a busy day at the Capitol where a new bill is set to be heard today aiming to ban so-called sanctuary cities in the state. The measure is called the Rule of Law Adherence Act.
Now, the measure would require local governments to comply with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention requests and to repeal sanctuary policies. Under the proposed bill, police would be required to honor all requests made by ICE to hold undocumented immigrants. State Senator Joe Gruder says the goal is to stop violent criminals, not all undocumented immigrants.
If you're an illegal alien and you're here and you're obeying the laws, you're being a good being a good member of the community, working hard, kids in school, you have nothing to worry about regarding this bill. This bill only comes into play is if you're in the judicial process, if you get arrested.
Representatives DeSegli.
Opponents of the bill argued the legislation has more to do with partisan politics than with fixing an actual problem. If approved by the Senate committee today, the measure would have one more committee stop before being heard by the full chamber. Governor Ron DeSantis supports sanctuary city ban approval. Now, talks of the ban come as President Trump releases his budget calling for a crackdown of sanctuary cities. In order to penalize so-called sanctuary cities in the past, the administration has tried to withhold federal safety funds. Now, last year, 6 states sued the administration over the decision and won.
Florida's anti-hazing law could be expanded under a new bill. The measure would make people who organize hazing at fault if someone is seriously hurt or dies, even if the organizer didn't participate in the event. It also prohibits hazing of former members of fraternities or other organizations. That vote came after the parents of Andrew Coffey made a tearful plea in support of the bill. You know, the FSU student died of alcohol poisoning in November 2017 at an off-campus frat party. Investigators say the 20-year-old was coerced to drink an entire bottle of bourbon. The bill provides immunity for the first person who calls 911 to get help for a hazing victim, even if they were participants in the activity.
A rally against sex trafficking will take place at the Capitol this morning. Florida Department of Children and Families Secretary Chad Propel will join an anti-trafficking victim care service provider, One More Child. That rally kicks off at 11 and will highlight the progress made in recent years to better serve victims statewide. Organizers hope to build a stronger collaboration between lawmakers, survivors, and service providers during this legislative session. Solar farms are popping up all over North Florida, and now Leon County commissioners are looking to take their commitment to fostering more sustainable energy a little bit further.
Yeah, today those commissioners will discuss passing an ordinance surrounding solar energy. Our Jada Williams live for us this morning with a look at what this ordinance is all about. Hey, Jada.
As many of you continue to recover from the recent tornadoes, several others are still trying to figure out how they can afford to feed their pets. The Leon County Humane Society says it has not heard of anyone losing their pets as a result of the storm, but the executive director says if you are struggling to feed your pet, the Humane Society has a food pantry available. If you would like to go to that food pantry, your pet must be spayed or neutered.
First Alert meteorologist Alex Cordero here to track our day, and another cold one out there. You want me to go to Vidwall? I have Vidwall coming up, but okay. Okay.
It's a difficult time for residents in Liberty and Wakulla counties. Grief counselors have been at the Liberty County High School to help students cope after the head coach of the high school baseball team and his wife both died in an accident over the weekend. The couple had recently moved from Wakulla County to Liberty County. WTXL's ABC 27 Stephen Jim Wall has more on how the community is working through this tragedy.
It's like being kicked in the stomach.
It was a grave loss, egregious loss for our community.
October 10th, 2018, Liberty County was rocked by Hurricane Michael. March 10th, 2019, the county was hit with more heartbreak.
Yeah, it devastated us all over.
Corey and Shanna Crum were at the high school baseball field with about 20 other volunteers. Corey was putting in poles to hold up a new scoreboard. The hurricane destroyed the old one. He was working on a boom lift when it touched power lines. He was electrocuted.
The Crums moved from Wakulla County to Liberty County just a few years ago. The superintendent said the district is considering a few ways to support the family and remember Coach Crum, but nothing has been finalized so far.
New details this morning in the case surrounding Celeste Chambers. She's the Tallahassee mother found guilty of prostituting a child for 13 years. Well, now she's been sentenced to life in prison. Back in January, a jury found Chambers guilty on all 7 counts, including child abuse, sexual battery, and human trafficking. After 2 days of trial, that sentencing was pushed back due to jury misconduct. In June of 2017, Chambers was arrested after accusations that she sex trafficked a child from 2003 to 2016, all for drugs. Court documents indicated that the abuse all started when the victim was only 3 years old. Chambers is being held at the Leon County Jail until she is taken to her final location.
All right, just a heads up, a boil water notice is in effect for some portions of Wakulla County. The notice is for Talquin Electric customers in the Park subdivision south to Spring Creek, Shell Point, and Oak Island. Talquin officials say a water main has been repaired, or water main break rather has been repaired, and they're working to make sure water samples are cleared from the laboratory. Now, people under the notice are being asked not to drink the water without boiling it first, at least for a minute. Another important note, your water might appear discolored. Talquin says the precautionary notice should be lifted soon, but no specific dates or time has been released. Now, a growing list of airlines have now grounded their Boeing planes as investigators from the U.S. arrive in Ethiopia.
The investigators are searching today for answers after Sunday's deadly crash. The Powerball jackpot continues to grow this morning. It's now up to $448 million. Catch the next drawing tomorrow before our 11 p.m. newscast. And here's a look at last night's Fantasy 5 numbers. Best of luck to you. Time now, 10:43.